Welcome to Unstoppable You Now, where we explore the profound difference between merely existing in safety and truly living with purpose. Many of us confuse breathing with living, assuming that staying safe within our comfort zones is the ultimate goal of life. However, true life is not measured by the years we survive, but by the moments that take our breath away. In a luxurious villa, a golden fish named Gobi lived inside a magnificent crystal bowl, protected from the chaotic world outside. Every single day, Gobi swam exactly 100 circles around his glass home, eating his meals at the precise same time. He observed the world through thick glass, proud of his perfect life, which had no enemies, no hunger, and no risks. Gobi believed he had achieved the pinnacle of success, mistaking his absolute safety for a life well lived and truly mastered. One bright morning, a small sparrow landed on the windowsill and began telling Gobi stories about the vast wild ocean. The bird spoke of the endless blue waters, where waves crashed loudly and colorful coral reefs hid dangerous but majestic sharks. Gobi laughed at the bird, asking why anyone would face such death when he could remain immortal in his safe bowl. The sparrow replied softly that Gobi was not immortal, but merely preserved like a mummy within the comfort of convenience. A fish in the ocean might only live a year, but it sees the world while you only see one loop. Gobi dismissed the bird's words, retreating to the bottom of his bowl, convinced that his safety was superior to freedom. That very night, a sudden earthquake shook the villa, knocking the beautiful crystal bowl off the table and onto the floor. The glass shattered instantly, and the water spilled out, flowing towards a large outdoor fish pond connected to a stream. Gobi found himself facing a critical choice: stay in the shallow puddle of the broken bowl or follow the flowing water. He could wait for his owner to save him, returning to existence, or use his strength to jump into the unknown. Summoning every ounce of courage, Gobi chose to struggle, pushing his body across the rough ground towards the flowing stream. With a final splash, he fell into the cool, moving water of the stream, feeling a sensation he never knew. For the first time, his fins were scratched by rocks, but he felt the rush of freedom flowing through his gills. He realized that the safety of the crystal bowl was a prison, and this dangerous, unpredictable stream was true life. Gobi swam forward, leaving behind the illusion of immortality to embrace the beautiful, terrifying reality of a life truly lived. To exist is merely to keep your heart beating, but to live is to make it beat for something greater. Now let us turn our eyes to the sky for another story about potential, identity, and the tragedy of forgetting yourself. High above the mountains, a young eagle fell from its nest, tumbling down into a farmyard filled with common chickens. A farmer found the bird and raised it alongside his chickens, feeding it grain and keeping it within the fence. Over time, the majestic bird learned to scratch the earth for worms, cluck like a hen, and never fly high. He ate well, slept warmly, and grew strong, perfectly adapting to exist as a very strange and large farm chicken. He believed the wooden fence was the limit of his world, never realizing his wings were built to conquer mountains. One afternoon, a magnificent shadow swept across the farmyard as another eagle soared gracefully through the high, open sky above. The eagle on the ground looked up with admiration mixed with pain, watching the creature glide effortlessly among the clouds. He asked the old rooster standing nearby, "Who is that magnificent creature ruling the sky with such power and grace?" The rooster replied that it is the king of the sky, a being that belongs to a different, unreachable world. He told the eagle to stop dreaming, for they were just chickens, and their duty was to scratch the earth. Sadly, the eagle accepted this lie as truth, suppressing the wild instinct that screamed within his soul to take flight. Years passed slowly, and the eagle grew old within the coop, living a safe, well-fed life without any storms. He had a peaceful existence, never knowing hunger or cold, but he also never felt the wind beneath his wings. Eventually, the eagle died in the chicken coop, choosing to exist as a successful chicken rather than a struggling eagle. He passed away with a heart that was physically intact, but with a soul that had never truly been used. The greatest tragedy of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we still live. We all have a choice between the comfort of the fishbowl and the terrifying freedom of the open wild stream. Are you scratching the ground like a chicken, or are you preparing to spread your wings and conquer the sky? Don't let your extraordinary instincts fade away just to buy a temporary sense of peace and a mediocre existence. Break the glass bowl, jump over the fence, and dare to live a life that truly belongs to your spirit. Your potential is limitless, but only if you are brave enough to step out of the shadows of mere survival. The path of living is harder than the path of existing, but it is the only path that leads somewhere. Like Gobi, you may get scratched and bruised, but you will finally feel the rush of being truly, undeniably alive. Like the true eagle, you belong to the skies, not the ground, so do not let anyone clip your wings. Wake up from the slumber of safety, for you were designed for greatness, not for a life of quiet desperation. Let your life burn with passion and purpose, rather than slowly fading away in the safety of a windless room. Join us on this journey of discovery, where we refuse to settle for anything less than our absolute best potential. The universe did not create you to be small. It created you to expand, to explore, and to become unstoppable. Choose to live today. Choose to face the storm. Choose to be the hero of your own magnificent, unwritten story. Let the river of your life flow freely into the ocean of destiny, embracing every twist and turn with courage. Embrace the pain, the joy, the fear, and the love, for these are the heartbeat of a life well lived. Your story is not over yet. In fact, the most exciting chapter is just waiting for you to write it. Step out of the cage, leave the coop, and breathe the air of freedom that you were always meant to breathe. Remember, existence is a default setting, but living is a choice that you must make every single day. Thank you for watching Unstoppable You Now. Subscribe today to awaken your true potential and stop merely existing in shadows. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, and together, let us become truly unstoppable. See you soon.